Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series brought to you by FEGPC.net every Monday night. We are here at the Virtual Auto Club Speedway where we get ready to crown the Segment 7 champion. It's going to be a good one at the 2-mile raceway. As always, I'm your host, James East, bringing the action 1080p, 60 frames a second, as we've got drivers, 8 drivers trying to make their way into the top spot as we check in on Chad Ross. He's a championship contender. On the left side of your screen, on the live timing and scoring tower, you will see asterisks by 8 different drivers' names here today. Those are the drivers that are eligible to bring home the grand prize here at Segment 7. Looks to be about 12, 13 drivers making their way out to Auto Club, where we're going to go 135 laps here in the segment finale, as it looks like qualifying has wrapped up, and let's get ready to grid them up. Let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on. Drivers always appreciate the fans tuning in, and we definitely appreciate it up here in the booth as well. Let's go ahead and run through today's grid for the main event. Starting on pole, Jeffrey Vickery in the number 21 machine in the top spot. Jeff Radke starting second. Dalton McKinney starts third. Corey Stahl starting fourth. Wally Babb starts fifth. Stephen Page starts sixth. Derek Fulton starting seventh. Eric Park starts eighth. Chad Ross starts ninth. Kenneth McCullough Jr. starting 10th. Jay Dargert, the fan favorite, starts 11th. James Kaufman starts 12th, and Jimmy Sox will round out the 13 truck here today as we wait for a few more drivers to make their way out onto the grid. Looks like we're waiting on Stephen Page, the number 1 Chevrolet, our last driver to make his way out onto the grid. 8 drivers in this championship battle. Derek Fulton, Jeff Radke, Eric Parks, Kenneth McCullough Jr., Chad Ross, Wally Babb, James Kaufman, Stephen Page. The 8 drivers all going to be duking it out. Now, they don't necessarily have to win the main event here tonight. They just need to place ahead of their competitors. Thank you to Craig, the world famous Australian tune in, doing a little bit of a sound check for us. As we roll out behind our iRacing safety car. Craig joining us on the YouTube side of the broadcast today. Our favorite, I don't want to say favorite Australian, but he's definitely the top 3 for sure. He'll be doing a All-American road trip this summer, so looking forward to follow along with his actions. So it's going to be Vickery and Radke on the front row. McKinney, Stahl, your second row. Babb and Fulton, your third row. Going to be interested to see if a caution even comes out here today. With only 13 drivers at the 2-mile racetrack, I would expect to see maybe a fair amount of single file action here today. Now, I'm sure that I've said that. That'll be an immediate caution, and we'll have 3 cars left running on the first lap. But the safety car comes down pit road. And let's go green flag racing here at Auto Club, the Segment 7 Championship for the FEG PC.net NASCAR Oval Series. Jeffrey Vicker in that number 1 spot. The number 21 machine is going to hold on to the lead heading into turn 1. Dalton McKinney working the low line. Jeff Radke up high. He's chased by Corey Stahl, who has Wally Babb on the inside line. Stephen Page also ripping the high line. Everybody trying to get settled in as quickly as they possibly can. McKinney staying glued to the inside line. The purple and yellow number 46 Distance Chevrolet. He's going to make it 1 spot up. Moving into second as Radke still rips the high line. Looks like Stahl is going to follow him there. You've got Stephen Page, the number 1 machine, looking at the inside line as well. But Dalton McKinney dropping back into third as Radke pushes the 51 machine back up into second. A lot of interesting lines being ran here at Auto Club. I'm seeing 2, 3, 4 different line choices amongst the drivers. As right now, Dalton McKinney and Stephen Page, the only drivers inside the top 5 who have gained a position. Radke down 1 spot. Keep an eye out, McKinney. He looks hungry in the opening laps here at Auto Club. Now, Vickery and McKinney running first and second. They are not championship contenders. Jeff Radke sitting third, the number 51 machine. Our current highest placing chase driver. Stephen Page back in second. He is the second highest placing championship driver. Three laps down. We're looking at about a 90-some-odd minute main event here today, about an hour and a half, not counting pit stops and possibly cautions. As we watch Stephen Page, Wally Babb battling for the top 5 spot. There's Eric Parks, Derek Fulton right behind. Now Fulton's been on a bit of a winning streak here on a Monday night. The friendly Canadian, the number 70 Toyota Tundra. I want to say he's made it 2, if not 3 in a row. As you remember last week's event, announced by the world-famous Australian Gareth McAllister. And yes, Derek Fulton currently riding off of a hat trick. He has made it 3 in a row. Up front, Jeff Radke, Jeffrey Vickery side by side. A little bit of a flying V formation as Corey Stahl now still holding on to 4th. Dalton McKinney up 2 spots in the number 1 spot. And you can see right behind, that's Stephen Page and briefly Wally Babb. Also going side by side, Eric Parks and Derek Fulton kind of following along, playing a little bit of look, wait, and see here. As up front, these guys are going for it very early on. You got to keep an eye on some of these wily veterans as well. A lot of guys will be playing the fuel game, doing a little bit of calculation before coming to the main event, seeing how long they can go on a tank of fuel, following in behind the rest of the field. Going a little bit further back. Derek Fulton sitting in at 8th. He's down 1 spot from where he started, still tucked in wisely behind Parks in the 73 machine. Seems like he's just kind of content riding around, seeing what the other guys are going to do here. As the field is very, very bunched up. It's about the top 8 drivers. Just about running nose to tail. The top 3 have pulled a little bit of a gap, about a half second, with Corey Stahl holding on to that final podium position. Right now, Radke is our highest running championship contender, with about a 0.7 second gap over Wally Babb in 5th. Jeffrey Vickery, Wally Babb. We just talked about Babb in the championship contention in that number 99 Ford Mustang, the Georgia native. Doesn't want Radke sitting in second to get too much time built up. Babb and Vickery still side by side. Vickery's down 3 position. Babb running exactly where he qualified. As As the top three starting to break away with Bab and Vickery going side by side. It's going to slow the pace down. Looks like Bab not quite able to get that fourth place spot away from the number 21. And that has allowed Stephen Page, the number 1 machine, to link up as well, as looks like that's going to be Eric Parks in the 73. And again, while this is going on, the top three have stretched the gap now to 0.8 of a second. The battle for the lead is underway. Jeff Radke moves up the number 1 spot. And he will slide right ahead of Dalton McKinney, so the race leader, also a championship contender. As look, that is a great shot, showing what that 7/10 gap looks like from your top three back to the 4th place driver, Jeffrey Vickery. Wally Babb, Stephen Page still running 5th and 6th. And look at this, Dalton McKinney will not be denied. Going back for the race lead. Now he's just doing it for the glory in that 46. Corey Stahl takes over 2nd as Radke falls back to 3rd. I think Radke, I am willing to wager he is doing this for fuel numbers, not wanting to be the lead truck, able to save a little bit of fuel. But that has allowed Jeffrey Vickery and the rest of the pack to catch up to the top three. Vickery qualified in 2nd. He's got the pace. Excuse me, qualified in the number 1 spot, so definitely has the pace. As Stahl and McKinney continue going side by side for the lead, this is allowing all of the top 9 drivers to bunch back up. Looks like Chad Ross catching the back end of Derek Fulton's number 70. Stahl and McKinney going at it. Radke looks like he's content following along, but he's got to keep an eye out. Wally Babb closing the gap as well. Now Babb, a championship contender. And he is just about alongside. He's next to Vickery's number 21. Trying to get a little bit up closer to the 51 of Radke. And Stahl and McKinney still going at it. McKinney has a bobble. We're going to go 3 wide with Jeffrey Vickery, and I believe that's Radke up high. What happened to McKinney there? He's fallen off the pace. It almost seems like a game of no you lead. No you lead. McKinney rapidly falling back as we go 3 wide once more. That's Eric Parks and Derek Fulton. Ooh, a precarious spot, only 13 laps in. Nobody wants to go home early due to a mechanical or worse, some sort of racing incident. Drivers hitting speeds in excess of 185 miles an hour here at Auto Club. Wally Babb wants to catch back up to that 51 machine of Jeff Radke. That is his competition. Radke and Babb just about equal on I-rating, so this is going to be very much a situation. Oh no, that's Corey Stahl, up into the wall. Stahl in the distance back, 66 Chevrolet, big problems as he falls back to 9th and is rapidly dropping down the standings. That's going to put Radke back up in the race lead. Jeffrey Vickery sits 2nd. Wally Babb up into 3rd. look at McKinney way down low there. Radke holds on to the race lead. Derek Fulton, Dalton McKinney battle for third. Fulton making moves out of nowhere. He's up 4 positions already. Make it 3 as McKinney takes a spot back. Radke in second, does a bit of a crossover against Vickery, way down low onto the apron. Trying to make the track as small as possible. He will slide up in front of Vickery, shuts the door on the 21. A little bit further back there, it's Eric Parks in 73 machine. He's throwing jabs at Chad Ross and Wally Babb. This is the battle for 6th. 7 champion playoff drivers inside the top 10. James Kaufman's had a bit of problems here tonight. He's sitting in the 11th place spot in the number 41, well off the back of the other drivers. As Stephen Page has his hands full with Corey Stahl in the 66. Stahl, unfortunately, I think he's going to keep moving backwards in the standings. A little bit of damage on the right side of the truck. And the different lines still in play. Jeffrey Vickery absolutely harassing Radke in the 51 for the race lead. Right behind them, there's Dalton McKinney, Derek Fulton. Vickery takes back over the race lead, side by side. Radke has him at the line by 0.03 of a second. Right behind them, that's McKinney and Fulton also going side by side for the fans at home. Now coming into tonight, Derek Fulton had a 7-point lead on Jeffrey Radke. I believe with the driver handicap system, Fulton knows he has to finish well in front of the 51 Toyota Tundra of Radke. But I don't think Vickery in the 21 is going to make it easy for anybody up front as we hint at 3 wide once more. No, Fulton goes back high, shuts the door on Dalton McKinney. Derek Fulton looks back to the inside line. Does not appear he will have the drive against Vickery. Vickery shoots to the bottom. Well, let's see if the 21 will slide back up in front of Radke. Radke carries a whole lot of momentum. Oh, almost getting to the back of the number 21. Fulton has the check up as well. He looks to the bottom just to find some clean air and open track. Now Radke in the 51 machine, he's got a little bit of help from his teammate McKinney there. Both drivers racing for the distance this season. Derek Fulton has no help from his teammate Kenneth McCullough Jr. in the 03. Another championship driver, but McCullough is currently in 10th. Not counting McCullough out yet though. We've seen some pretty wild strategy calls pay out for that 03 machine in races past. I would not be surprised to see it again here tonight, especially with how much is on the line. Vickery building up about a 2/10 gap on Radke. Radke also has about 2/10 on McKinney. Meanwhile, Chad Ross at 38, he's been making pretty good moves over this run. He is now up 4 positions. Still very curious to see what the fuel numbers are going to look like for these drivers. We've got Memory Radke cheering on the 51 of Jeff Radke, currently sitting second. Chasing a segment championship win here. As we get a busy pit road, Vickery, Radke, McKinney, Ross, Parks, Babb, Stahl, and Page all down pit road. Derek Fulton and Kenneth McCullough Jr. opt to stay out, as well as James Kaufman, Jay Dargert, and Jimmy Sock. So 5 of the 13 drivers staying out, stretch another lap. Now Fulton, also one of those drivers we've seen do some pretty crazy stuff on pit road. How long will Fulton and the other 5 stay out for? It looks like Fulton's going to signal he's coming down pit road. Looks like this is going to be a 5-stop and change race, as McKinney looks like he'll be the race leader. McKinney, Ross, and Parks on a 2-tire strategy. Jeff Radke in the 51 took 4 this time by... Looks like Radke and Page, the only 2 drivers out of that 8-pack that took 4 tires. Everybody else on a 2-tire strategy. McCullough, Kaufman, Dargert, and Sox roll out of pit road. They will stay on the lead lap. Looks like Derek Fulton with a 2-tire call has shot up the standings, now up 5 positions. And you can see McKinney just ahead of him. There's Chad Ross on the high line. All 4 drivers in the top 4 on 2-tire stop. Keep an eye out on Radke in the 51. The only driver in the top 5 that took 4. Looks like out on track, it's just Radke and Page that took 4 tires. Everybody else a 2-tire stop. Bolton not wasting any time, getting up there towards the front to challenge McKinney in the 46 for the race lead. There's Chad Ross, Eric Parks, 4 drivers inside the top 5, all in championship contention. Bolton has won the last 3 in a row. Can he make it 4? Maybe lock up a segment 7 championship. McKinney doing a good job holding on to it there in the 46. You can see Ross and Parks side by side right behind. They're battling for 3rd. McKinney once again shuts the door on Fulton. Fulton looking for any opening. I think he's looking for the race lead here. I don't think he's content following along the 46. As you can just see Radke back there in the 51. Radke taking his time, knowing he has fresher tires underneath him. And the drivers in front of him, in theory, should fall off faster than he is as he holds on to 5th. He's got about 6/10. It's got about a half second over Wally Babb in 6th. As we pan back to McKinney, he's got a quarter of a second ahead of Derek Fulton. Maybe Fulton following along here. He went one lap longer than the rest of the field, getting off strategy. McKinney has good pace. Last time by, McKinney with a 41.94, Fulton just barely faster at 41.9. But he's got to be mindful as here comes Eric Parks, Chad Ross closing the gap. There's Parks in the 73 Chevrolet. A very diverse top 6. You've got Chevrolet leading with Dalton McKinney. Derek Fulton, the Toyota, running second. Our fastest Ford out on track is Wally Babb, the 99 machine. He's running 6th. Everybody just kind of trudging along here, so we're going to see the pit window open up again around lap 46 to 48 when the fuel window will close. If, and that's a big if, drivers stay true to form. Let's pan back to Kenneth McCullough Jr. He is running the high line, catching up to Kaufman. Kaufman drifts wide in front of him. And then dives back to the inside line. McCullough just hanging out in the 03 machine. Not wanting to put that truck in any particularly dangerous positions. Knowing you've got to be here at the end of it if you want to try and bring home a win, much less a championship. And that's why some of these top 8 drivers, championship drivers, are in the top 8. Consistency throughout the season. To give you an idea, in the top 8, only one driver has brought home a win, which was multiple wins. That's Derek Fulton. He has 3 wins. Every other playoff driver still looking for their first win. Parks, Ross, Radke, 3rd, 4th, 5th, starting to tighten up a little bit here. I think this is where Radke's going to be able to start showing his stuff with those 4 fresh tires underneath him. As everybody else in front starts to fall off. And he's in a good striking spot here. He's only about a second, 1.2 seconds back from McKinney, your race leader. Parks holding on to 3rd. Looks like Fulton starting to track back down McKinney a quarter of a second off the back bumper of the 46. He built up about 6/10 over Parks. I'm curious to see when are we going to see Radke starts taking strikes at the drivers in front of him. He's currently sitting 5th, down 3 spots again. He's on a different tire strategy than most others out on track. But seems fairly content just following along inside the top 5, maybe letting the other guys wear out their tires a little bit. Derek Fulton was closing the gap here to Dalton McKinney, but not quite willing to make a move up into the race lead. Chad Ross also keeping the pressure on Eric Parks. McKinney was a little bit slower than Fulton was a little bit slower than McKinney last time by. McKinney hit a trap speed of 190 miles an hour that last lap. Now, I'm not quite sure what Fulton's fuel strategy call is going to be. It seems like it doesn't matter if you're doing 23 or 24 laps on fuel. That's going to leave you with like a half stop there at the end to splash off and make it, barring any sort of caution, to throw a wrench at anything. We got a little bit of racing going on. Ken McCall Jr. has moved back up in 11th. He's gotten around Jay Darger, but lost about 2.4 seconds to James Kaufman, the 41. You got about 3 distinct battles out on track. You've got Dalton McKinney, Derek Fulton running about a 1/10.5 away from each other, first and second. Eric Parks, Chad Ross running about 2 tenths or less between each other in third and fourth. And Kenneth McCullough Jr., Jay Darger battling for that 11th place spot. Fulton way up against the wall here. And right there behind McKinney's 46. McKinney, Fulton, as well as Parks running very different lines here across the track. Everybody's searching for the path that's going to give them the best tire wear. As Parks waking up the pace a little bit in the 73 machine. Fulton, Parks, Ross, second, third, fourth. All championship contenders, all up 5 positions here tonight. Here we go. It's about to be a battle for the race lead. McKinney, Fulton, Parks. Oh, there's Parks side by side with Fulton. We're looking at the inside line. Ross barely scrapes the wall in the 38 Special Chevrolet. Fulton staying glued to the back of McKinney, but Parks has a big run up the inside line. He will not quite get clear of the number 70 as they blast down the backstretch. Fuel window will be opening up in the next 5 or 6 laps. I guess fuel window's open up now. Fuel window will close in the next 6 to 7 laps. Fulton works his way back up into second. We've got Chris L here. He's cheering on the distance drivers. He's got to be happy for McKinney, your race leader, a distance driver himself. Parks fighting so incredibly hard to hold on to second. Running a much tighter line. I do worry, it's late in the run. Maybe he can afford to use the tires here. Wanting to get a good position before the field comes back down pit road. And don't count out Chad Ross in the 38 as well. He seems more than content watching as it's getting very close between Parks and Fulton. Parks will work his way up into second. I think he might be able to hold it this time. Not content there. He's looking for the race lead as well. Making that track as narrow as he possibly can. Looks like he's got the second place spot. He's hungry for first. Chad Ross has joined the party. He's going to slide up in front of Fulton, but look at Parks go. He's going to make it 7 positions gained if he can get around Dalton McKinney. Both drivers both came down pit road together on lap 23. We've seen guys like Fulton stretch it out to 24. But Eric Parks has made it 7 spots gained here at Auto Club. Now, I'm wondering what's going on with Radke as well. He's fallen back to 6th. Radke must be looking for fuel numbers as Jeffrey Vickery has slided back up into 5th. There's also Chad Ross at the tail end of this 4-truck battle for the lead. Parks, your race leader, a championship contender. Fulton in 3rd, as well as Chad Ross also in the hunt. Parks with a bit of a breakaway there in the 73. He's got about a quarter of a second over McKinney and Fulton, still side by side. Now McKinney not a championship contender, but still very much wanting to win and represent those sponsors well on the side of that 46. Corey Stahl, the 66, one of the first drivers down pit road. He had a little bit of damage on that truck from an impact with the safety barrier. Maybe coming down early, trying to kind of reset his race. Now Derek Fulton in 2nd. Oh, there's Dalton McKinney down pit road, as well as Jeff Radke in the 51. I'll be honest, I expected a little bit better drive out of Radke on that run. The only driver taking 4 fresh tires underneath them. Wasn't quite able to carry the pace he was looking for. Now Parks, your race leader, he came down pit road on lap 23. Derek Fulton in 2nd, the only driver inside the top 5 who stretched it out to lap 24 before his first pit stop. Looks like, yes, Parks Ross is going to come down pit road, as well as Vickery and Wally Babb. Derek Fulton and I believe James Kaufman, Jay Dargert, Jimmy Socks, and Ken McCullough Jr. All drivers who were last in lap 24. They're going to stretch it out a little while longer, or at least one more lap longer, I should say. There's McKinney, the 46 machine. He'll be a lap down here to Fulton, who surely has to be getting low on fuel. Radke again on a 4-tire stop. Fulton really stretching the run out here in the number 70. McKinney will shoot to the inside line of your race leader. Not having any problems with those 2 fresh tires underneath him. We're going to put the live timing tower to the left side of your screen so you can see where your favorite drivers are, as we are all intermingled here. Fulton goes way down the inside line. I think he's getting ready for a green flag stop. Yes, there comes your race leader down pit road. Let's see if James Kaufman will follow suit. Kaufman seems like he's starting to deaccelerate a little bit. No, he's going to stay out. Really stretching the limits of that Chevrolet on fuel. That is 26 laps so far. The longest fuel run we have seen so far this evening. I think Kaufman ran out of fuel. Oh, he most 100%. Kaufman's going to have to coast into pit road. He aimed for gold and fell up just a little bit short on a very wild pit strategy. Jay Dargert will follow him down pit road, as well as Jimmy Sox. Dalton McKinney will be your race leader. Oh, we've got problems for Derek Fulton. Must have had some sort of pit road penalty as he was in a stall for 50 seconds. Oh, the number 70 machine may have just thrown away a championship here. Let's get the replay queued up. I think Derek Fulton got a pit road penalty there. Too hot on pit road. And he is going to be way down the stairs. Derek Fulton, who went 3 in a row, is now at the very back of the field, 1 lap down, the only driver 1 lap down. He is going to need a Canadian miracle here to somehow get back into the fight. So Dalton McKinney is your race leader. Eric Parks in second. Chad Ross third. Jeff Radke fourth. So second through fourth is your championship contenders here. And it's a very busy racetrack for the 46 of Dalton McKinney. As Jay Dargert, Jimmy Sox also going a lap down. Radke again, the only driver inside the top 5 who took 4 fresh tires underneath them. Everybody else on a 2-tire strategy. And there's Eric Parks in 73 machine trying to keep the pressure on McKinney. A quarter of a second separating those two. Well, a little bit further back, Wally Babb trying to track down teammate, Corey Stahl trying to track down teammate Wally Babb. While Chad Ross has all sorts of pressure from Radke in the 51. Radke, one of those drivers, if he gets in front of you, very tough to get back around him. Well, let's see if maybe Radke with those 4 tires now can get some momentum built up. Because we've got a battle for the lead. Do we have a battle for the lead? Is Eric Parks going to hop out of line and shoot the inside? Looks like Parks happy following behind the 46. Not quite to the halfway mark of this evening. Looks like Jeffrey Vicker is going to give a good hearty shove to Corey Stahl on the 66. Trying to catch up to Wally Babb, still holding on to just inside the top 5. As it looks to me like the field may be calming down here slightly. A little bit of traffic ahead of Eric Parks. Is that Jay Dargert, I think? Yes, it is. Trying to get a lap back the old-fashioned way. Dargert also on a 4-tire strategy compared to McKinney, the race leader, on a 2-tire stop. I've got to say, this is the first run where we've seen a 4-tire stop start to pan well. We've seen Jeff Radke try it twice. Didn't have the success in the last fuel run that he was looking for. McKinney checks up slightly to allow Dargert by, not wanting to get tied up in somebody else's race. Neither Dargert nor McKinney championship contenders, but just racing for the thrill of it. And looking for their first win of this segment. Radke slowly closing the gap to Parks, down to about 4/10 between himself and the second place driver. Parks still our hard charger of the evening. He's up 6 spots. I think Parks knows that Radke is right behind as he links up to the back bumper of McKinney. Now Parks and McKinney on 2 different teams here. So expect to see the number 51 of Radke and now second place driver Dalton McKinney work together if they can get maybe linked up. As Eric Parks is racing for Team 3 here this season. Parks and McKinney still side by side. There is Jay Dargert just ahead of this battle for the lead. He's fighting tooth and nail to stay on the lead lap. Trying to figure out where to go here to not interfere with the battle for the lead as they get so close, Parks and McKinney. Almost brushing doors here at Auto Club. Parks gonna take over the race lead. That's 7 spots gained. And here comes a big charge from Jeff Radke in the 51. Will he finally be able to put those 4 fresh tires to good use, trying to help set the pace of those ahead of him? Radke leaning on the quarter panel of McKinney on the inside line. We've seen that inside line work fairly well and runs past. And yes, slide job up into second goes Radke, shutting the door on McKinney. I'd imagine Radke's going to try and work with his teammate here, not wanting to slow each other down too much to catch back up to Eric Parks. While McKinney desperately wants a win here to cap off the segment, I think he'd be willing to help out his teammate if that's going to secure the championship for their team. Expecting the next pit stops to happen between laps 73 and 78 for these drivers. I do wonder how the dirty air off of the back of that 57 machine piloted by Jay Dargert is affecting Eric Parks in the 73. John Mullihan joining us on the YouTube side of the broadcast. He's cheering on for all the absolute hooligans at Team 3. He's got to be pumped to see Eric Parks up in front. Now, Dargert is Parks' teammate, so I don't think he's going to, the number 73 is going to expect too much resistance here at the 57. Maybe even getting a slight toe to allow to do a little bit of fuel saving here late in the run. I would imagine Mullihan on spotting duty here tonight, helping out the team even though he's not out on track. Mullihan saying that Eric Parks taking jet fuel whenever he comes down pit road. Hopefully won't be a problem at the virtual post-race tech inspection. Also have a battle for third shaping up. Chad Ross making moves in the 38. Fighting for third against Dalton McKinney. While they throw faint jabs at each other, the top two of Parks and Radke pulling slightly away, about 8/10 ahead of this battle for third. Ross down the inside line. Doesn't look like he's going to quite have the run here against McKinney. Closes it down to about a 10th. Before McKinney carries just a little bit better drive back through the tri-oval to start finish line straight. As Ross will take another lap to recuperate. You can also just barely see Wally Babb, the 99 machine. He's a little bit less than a half second off this battle for fourth. Still doing a great job holding on to the top five. Four championship contenders inside the top five. That's Parks, Radke, Ross, and Babb. Ross moves up into third against the number 46 machine. Ross and McKinney continue the battle for third. McKinney fires back on the high side. There's Wally Babb, the 99 machine, lending his support. Still McKinney and Ross side by side. Corey Stahl at 66, one of the first drivers down pit road for a green flag stop. Wally Babb wants to interject himself into the party. He hints at 3 wide, looking at the inside line of Ross. Is he going to go for it? We are hinting, yes, 3 wide action. Wally Babb, the right side of your screen. Chad Ross, the middle, and McKinney up on the high side. We are just past the halfway mark, and our drivers pushing like it's the last lap as we are formation flying here at Auto Club. McKinney, Ross, Babb putting on a show in the battle for third. McKinney not having any of it. He's back to the inside line. Looks like Wally Babb will follow suit. They might be getting set up for a green flag stop. Yes, they are. Radke, McKinney, and Babb all down pit road. Eric Parks, Chad Ross opting to stay out. as well as Jeffrey Vickery. Parks using his teammate Dargert for maybe a little bit of fuel saving here. And Parks, your race leader, down pit road. Chad Ross follows suit. Everybody getting those machines woed up. There's Jeffrey Vickery and the number 21. Let's see if McCullough's going to do something a little bit different on strategy as well. Keep an eye on James Kaufman. He's the one who ran out of fuel in that last run. Top three in pit road. McCullough stays out once more. Definitely doing a whole lot of fuel saving here in the 03 machine. Oh, I was worried. I thought he might have also ran out of fuel there, but luckily just saving fuel, scaring the old broadcaster up here. James Kaufman also staying out, as well as Jay Dargert. McCullough continuing to push here. Just a little over 60 laps left to go in this main event. Derek Fulton in pit road, the number 70. He was one of the odds-on favorites to bring home a championship until he had that massive pit road penalty that set him back a lap. McCullough down pit road. Kaufman once again stretching the fuel run out. Now, not quite sure what Kaufman's strategy is. If he can stay true to a 25-lap pit run, he's still going to be about 10 laps short on fuel to make it till the end. Now, that being said, maybe Kaufman's been working with somebody like McCullough, who's just an absolute animal when it comes to the fuel strategy. Kaufman, though, is a member of Team 3. Those guys have had their heads together this season, seeing what can be figured out. Kaufman down pit road. Parks taking back over the race lead with McKinney in tow. So if I'm looking at my numbers right, I think most drivers are going to be 10 to 15 laps short by the end of this race. Jimmy Socks also down pit road in the 01 Ford F-150. Jay Dargert, the 57 machine, he's coming down pit road for his third stop of the race. You can see Dalton McKinney trying to close that gap up to Eric Parks. There's Kaufman, the 41, rolling out of pit road. Radke making a move on Wally Babb, and there's Stephen Page, the number 1 machine. Page moving up to 4th. He's up 2 positions gained so far. Hard charger still Eric Parks at 73. Up 7 position. Chad Ross also having a valiant effort. He's up 6 positions as he sits in 3rd. Parks and McKinney linked up nose to tail once more. This time Parks holding on to the race lead. McKinney trying the long way around, not quite having the luck he was looking for. McKinney grabs a little bit of clean air, hops back in formation. A little bit of cat and mouse here going on for the battle for the lead. Parks maybe trying to shake off McKinney, but I heard a little bit of contact there. That's a little too early for the chrome horns to come into play, I think. Especially with McKinney, he is not a championship contender, but still so desperately wants that lead as he goes back down the inside line. And McKinney takes back over the race lead, up 2 spots. Let's see, is Parks going to get a little bit of red mist here and return the favor as he looks back to the inside line? Still, the battle for the lead continues. Parks and McKinney getting dangerously close to trading some paint here. Parks has to be careful, not wanting to get tied up in a racing incident that could very possibly, very likely, I even say, put him out of championship contention. But when you have a driver in front of you, that dirty air can tighten up the truck ever so slightly. So it looks like Park's going to back out of it slightly here. I say that as he is right on the back bumper of McKinney once more. So maybe taking some time to build up some momentum. We're expecting both these drivers to come in around the lap 95 mark for their second to last stop of the evening. The rest of the field fairly stretched out. Pardon me. Seems like Parks keeping the pressure on for the race lead here. Not wanting the opportunity for McKinney to slow the pace down. And the last thing Parks wants is Chad Ross sitting in third to close that 1.2 second deficit. The 38 machine finds himself in sitting third. Both Parks and Ross are up 6 positions from where they qualified here today. And Parks surely knows he's in championship contention. McKinney way up against the wall. It's going to give Parks ample opportunity to drive up the inside line side by side for the race lead. Coming to the start-finish line. It's going to be less than 50 laps left to go as they cross the line. Parks 0.03 of a second ahead of McKinney. That's about a bumper. And now with this side-by-side action, Chad Ross is less than a second behind the battle for the lead. You can see Ross in the 38 special, the black and blue. Desperately trying to close the gap as Parks takes back over the race lead. Ross has got it now down to about 9/10 behind the battle for the lead. As we go on board that 38 machine. Ross hoping that McKinney and Parks battling side by side will allow him an opportunity, but it seemed like all of a sudden Parks has hammered the gas and pulled a 3/4 of a second gap over the 46 machine. There's your top three. Parks, McKinney, Ross. Parks, McKinney in playoff contention. Page inside the top 5, sitting 4th, also in the playoff points. And there you go. Chad Ross is caught up to the back of McKinney in the 46. Ross trying to work his way up into second. How will this affect the championship implications? Parks 206 points coming in tonight. Ross 202. And now a little bit of lap traffic with Jimmy Sox in the 01. Sox going way down the apron. Dalton McKinney takes his time to come down pit road. Looks like Vickery will do the same. That's going to put these drivers about 20 laps short to make it till the end. Wally Babb has linked back up with Radke, both Radke and Babb, on a two-tire strategy from lap 70 the last time they were down pit road. McCullough sitting 6th. He had a bit of a late pit stop on lap 73, and keep an eye out for James Coffin, the 41. He's been stretching those fuel numbers time after time, as well as Dargard. His last pit stop was lap 75, so a few differing pit strategies here tonight. Going to be interesting to see if there's any sort of implications here at the end, if that's going to be a factor to who brings home the top spots, who might lock up a championship. Stephen Page, the number 1 machine. He was running 3rd. He's down pit road. Looks like Radke and Babb will move up to 3rd and 4th, still linked up nose to tail. As we check back in on race leader Eric Parks. With a Dalton McKinney in the 46 right behind him. McKinney fresh out onto the track after a lap 90 pit stop. Here comes race leader Parks trying to get it slowed down for pit road. McCullough right in front of him. Chad Ross opts to stay out as Stephen Page exits pit road. Eric Parks down pit road. Jeff Radke down pit road. Babb in the 99 staying out for a little while longer. And if I'm doing my math right up here in the booth, I don't think there's going to be a single driver that will not have to come down pit road for a 5th time here this evening. Even James Coffin, who's been trying to stretch that fuel run to the absolute maximum, even running out of fuel at one point, I think is going to be about 10 laps short. And Wally Babb, your race leader, still staying out even longer in the 99 Ford F-150. Most drivers staying on a 2-tire strategy. Chad Ross rolled out in the 38. He's on a 2-tire stop. He's going to rejoin the track about in the 4th place spot. That should put him up to 3rd, as Wally Babb will need to come down pit road rather soon here. And yes, Babb must have heard that as well, as he's down pit road. And what is this? We've got a crash, and it's a big one. Jeffrey Vickery, Derek Fulton involved in an incident. What just happened? Oh, let's back that camera angle up. It looks like, oh, Fulton gets absolutely drilled by the 21. Let's back that up and see what just happened. Oh, Fulton got a little bit of help there. Who is that behind him? Gives him a hearty shove. That's the 57 of Dargard. Gets into the back of the friendly Canadian. Fulton tries to chase it around the track. Drills the outside wall and just gets absolutely pulverized by Jeffrey Vickery. And Fulton showing involved in another incident here. What was that? Pulls off track. I think the magic smoke came out of that number 70 machine. And Fulton, his night going from bad to worse. Where's he going? What happened to Fulton here? Not sure what's going on with Fulton. I think some words might be being expressed here amongst the drivers. As surely Fulton needs to tow. We'll try and get some, maybe some word from some of the drivers. Very peculiar that Fulton still sitting here. Showing, I don't know what's going to happen here, to be honest. So we're going to be behind the iRacing safety car. Doesn't look like many drivers will take this opportunity to come down pit road. Eric Parks came down pit road. Jay Darger did out of necessity. And we did get a report. Darger walked over to the hauler to talk to Fulton. So some sort of words being shared. Not sure if they were positive or not. I think Fulton still parked there in the number 70 machine. Looks like Fulton, I'm not sure what's going on here. So if you're just tuning in, boy, did you miss an exciting one. This late race caution happened when Darger, the 57 machine, got into the back of Derek Fulton, championship contender. To be fair, Fulton was most likely out of the fight, but Fulton stayed parked out on track for a very long time. I think words were being said amongst drivers. So we're going to have a brief run. I think drivers will have to come down pit road about 10 to 15 laps short. This will be our first caution of the night. And cautions do tend to breed cautions. As we hinted, 3 wide. Looks like Wally Babb was right there in the middle of it, alongside Jeff Radke and Corey Stahl. Chad Ross fights for second against Eric Parks. McCullough comes down pit road in the 03 machine. McKinney holds on the race lead, but second place is the very possible battle for the championship. You've got Parks, Radke, Ross, Page, second through fifth, all in the hunt for the title. And we're going 3 wide for the race lead. McKinney on the high line. Radke down low, Eric Parks squeezed squarely in the middle. And we're hinting at 3 wide right behind him as well. This is going to be a shootout with 34 laps left to go. Parks run the inside line, the middle line, tries to get some momentum, but he's got Radke down low. McKinney up high, everybody looking for a spot. McKinney shoots back down the inside. No joy as Parks blocks the way. Radke still up high. Here comes Parks, battling for the race lead on the inside line. Radke gets pushed up against the wall. And what a shootout. Here comes Babb in the 99 machine. He's going to hit McKinney with a slide job. Babb up into third. Radke holds on to the race lead. Parks second, Babb third. McKinney shuffled back to fourth. Right behind them, there's Corey Stahl, Chad Ross. As Radke and Parks continue to battle for the lead, and we go 3 wide once more here for the segment finale. Radke ripping the high line. Wally Babb way down low for the first time tonight, battling for the race lead. Surely these drivers know we've got one more pit stop left to go. McKinney trying to rejoin the fray in the 46 machine. Babb for the first time tonight up in the top spot in the 99 machine. Radke not going to let him have it easy as they're side by side crossing the start finish line. Radke 0.02 of a second ahead. Parks and McKinney side by side in the battle for third as Radke stays committed to the outside line. Babb down low. 32 laps left to go here to crown a champion. We've seen some heavy 3 wide battling for the race lead. You can see about 5th place back, single file. That's Stahl, Page, Kaufman, and a little bit further back is Chad Ross. Babb holding on the race lead, getting those credits for the number 99 machine. Radke staying glued to the back bumper of the Ford F-150, proudly running up front. Parks and McKinney still very much in the hunt. They built up about a half-second buffer to Corey Stahl, who rounds out the top 5. Your top 3, though, out on track. All championship contenders, Babb and Radke, knowing they need every single point they can get. But they may have been gifted a little bit here as Fulton no longer at the track. He's put it back in the virtual hauler. Let me pull up the live timing screen on the left side of your screen to see who your favorite driver is. But right now, all eyes focused on Wally Babb, Jeff Radke. Radke taking back over the race lead. Both Radke and Babb on a 4-tire strategy here. We're expecting them to come down pit road no later than lap 123, maybe lap 124. And we still got racing all across the track as Stephen Page, James Kaufman. Battle for 6, 2 more championship contenders here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Kaufman looks like he's going to take back over the 6th place position. Page fires back on the high side, carrying a little bit more momentum, as well as using that draft from Corey Stahl's 66 machine. But we've once again got a new race leader. Wally Babb is on the gas here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a couple more laps of fuel than Radke, so we may see some differing pit strategies once more. In fact, in the top 5, Babb, one of the only drivers that came down pit road lap 95. Everybody else came down lap 93 or a few laps prior, as in the case of McKinney and Stahl. They were down pit road at lap 90. We've seen one late race caution so far. Will we see another? It looks like now Radke's going to have a little bit of company in the form of Eric Parks. Parks has been driving the wheels off that 73 machine here so far this evening. He's up 5 spots currently. Hard charger out on track though. James Kaufman, number 41 machine. Kaufman currently running 6th out on track. And a very diverse top three as well. You've got Wally Babb in the Ford, running first. Jeff Radke second, the Toyota. And Eric Parks rounds out that podium. He's the number 73 Chevrolet. This is where championships will be won or lost here, ladies and gentlemen. Parks looks like he's going to stay behind Radke a little while longer, maybe to help push these two up towards the back of the 99 of Wally Babb. Meanwhile, Dalton McKinney has moved back up into fourth, edging out James Kaufman in the number 5 machine. Kaufman not going to let anybody go that easy, though. He quickly fires back and takes over the fourth place position. And here's your top three, separated by less than 0.4 of a second. It's Babb, Radke, Parks. Oh, ooh, look at that. The top 4 drivers all in championship contention. Parks, another look up the inside line. It looks like he's going to have momentum. Will he have the drive out of the corner? Yes, he slides up in front of Radke. Radke's going to return the favor down the back stretch. He's going to look to the inside line through 3 and 4. Trying to keep Parks up against the wall. But Parks is carrying such good momentum through turn 4. Where is this going to shuffle out? Radke pulls a 10th. Looks like Radke stays down low. But Parks quickly covering that gap once more, using the draft of Wally Babb. Still side by side, the battle for second. Babb and Radke. First and second now as Radke continues battling for second, with Parks going back and forth. Our teammates, Eric Parks, fighting tooth and nail to hold on to second. He's with Team 3. His closest support is James Kaufman, our hard charger, sitting fourth in the 41. Little bit of traffic up ahead. That's Jargert, who's going down the apron to quickly hop out of the way. Parks and Radke still going at it, but here comes Kaufman, the 41 machine, to lend his support. It's very quickly about to be a 3-truck battle for second. This is allowing Wally Babb up front to pull about a half, let's call it about 4/10 advantage over the second through fourth place drivers, as here comes Kaufman along the inside line of Radke. Radke has a big drive, nowhere to go as Parks holds on to second, the 73. Kaufman's run, I was going to say, may fall a little bit short here. Maybe not, as we hint at 3-wide racing once more. Dalton McKinney, the 46 machine, down pit road, as well as Corey Stahl, their final stops of the night. 22 laps left to go. Parks, Kaufman, Radke, separated by less than a 10th no matter which way you look. It looks like a little bit of net code there between Radke and Kaufman. Kaufman looking way down the inside line against Parks. Radke seems to have fallen back slightly, his run stalling in the number 51. Stahl in and out of his pit stall very quickly, as well as McKinney. There's McKinney rolling back out on track right into a meat grinder. Wally Babb holding on to the race lead. He's built up about a half second over Parks, Radke, and Kaufman. Looks like Parks gonna be hard on the brakes to come down pit road. A green flag stop with 20 laps left to go. Babb stays out. He's got a couple more laps of fuel than Radke underneath the hood. Babb holding it to the limit. He is 6/10 up over Radke. Radke still has his hands full with James Kaufman. Stephen Page in pit road as Eric Parks rolls out back out on track for what should be the final pit stop of the evening. Dalton McKinney working his way through lead lap drivers, trying to get a lap back in the 46. There is Eric Parks in the 73 machine returning out on track. He's got 4 fresh tires underneath him for his final sprint of the evening. Kaufman and Radke still battling side by side. Neither driver coming down pit road, and they've gained a whole heap of ground on Wally Babb, now down to about 3.5 tenths of a second to the race leader. Kaufman all over the back bumper of the 51 of Radke. There goes Eric Parks trying to unlap himself in the 73, knowing there is no more time to waste here. Oh, this is going to get dicey as Eric Parks unlaps himself from Babb. 2 tenths now separating Babb. Oh, it looks like Babb. Radke going to come down pit road. Will Kaufman follow suit? Yes, he will. Oh, Babb sending it very, very deep there. Oh, hopefully the number 99 machine not coming down pit road too hot as Babb, Radke, Kaufman, your top 4 all down pit road. Let's see if Jimmy Sox in the 01 machine will join the party on pit road. And that, in theory, should be putting Dalton McKinney. No, look at that. Sox is going to stay out. Where will this put Dalton McKinney? And Eric Parks currently 6th and 7th as they've got 4 drivers in front of them all on pit road. Looks like Radke, Babb, Kaufman taking 2 tires. Ross, one of the only drivers in that cycle, taking 4 underneath them. Parks works his way around McKinney. There's Wally Babb. There's Jeff Radke. The Parks showing 2nd on screen should be your race leader because we know Jimmy Sox has yet to come down pit road. Parks, one of the few drivers inside the top 5 who took 4 fresh tires underneath them. Will that gamble pay off as he has quickly built up a 9 tenths? Let's call it a 2nd gap over Dalton McKinney. Little bit of traffic. That looked like it was McCullough not having the championship night that he was looking for. There's McKinney in the purple and yellow, easy to spot. Race leader Jimmy Sox down pit road for his 5th and final time of the night. That should put Eric Parks back in the race lead. He's got a 1.6 second gap built up over McKinney. We pan back to McKinney. He is squarely in the hornet's nest with Radke and Babb right behind him. Eric Parks has found something to put in the tank, and he is absolutely screaming in that 73 machine. Both Parks and Kaufman up 7 positions from where they qualified here tonight. as it looks like Bab trying to muscle his way up towards the front as well. Bab moves up into third. 4 drivers inside the top 5 championship contenders. Bab trying to close that half-second gap to Radke. I don't know if anybody can catch up to Eric Parks, though. He is now at 2.3 seconds ahead of Radke, Bab, McKinney, as well as James Kaufman, who rounds out the top 5 here. Ten of our 13 drivers still out on track. Jay Dargard in pit road for an extended stay. Derek Fulton back in the virtual hauler. Jeffrey Vickery's been in pit stall for just about 23 minutes now. Here comes Wally Babb getting ready to battle for second against Radke. We've got 12 laps left to go in this segment finale. Babb up into second. But while this is going on, Eric Parks almost 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. McCullough down pit road for his final time of the night. That is his 7th stop of the evening. 10 laps left to go. We pan the camera back to Parks. Still 2.95 seconds ahead of Babb and Radke. And it looks like fairly open track ahead of the race leader. Well, looks like Babb finding a little bit of time there. Last time by, Parks with a 41.9. Babb about a 1/10 of a second faster. Wonder if Babb's backing off of it ever so slightly as he works his way through traffic once more. That was Jimmy Sox and the 01 machine. Sox having a pretty good run here tonight. He's up 4 spots. A relative newcomer here to the FEG PC.net NASCAR family. And it looks like Radke just slowly falling off the pace of the 99 of Babb. Race leader Eric Parks enjoying the clean air on the front of that 73 machine. He's got to make it 8 more laps here around Auto Club. And he will lock up the win here tonight, but I'm going to be very interested to see how the points pay out. Parks came into tonight 3rd in points, 6 points behind Jeffrey Radke, who sits in 3rd. Wally Babb, if he can finish second, that may be enough to tip the scales in the favor of Parks. Seven laps left to go. Looks like Radke closing the gap back to Babb here, down to about 0.2 of a second. Now both Babb and Radke on a 2-tire strategy. Your race leader Parks gambled with 4 tires on that lap 115 pit stop. It seems to be boding well for the 73. He is both our race leader and our hard charger, as I believe it was Corey Stahl in the 66 who clicked off the fastest lap of the race, a 40.78 earlier in the night. I think Radke knows he's got to finish second if he wants to maybe tip the scales back into his favor. But not a lot of time left to make it happen against Babb in the 99. Babb was 6th in points coming into tonight. So I'm not sure if he's going to be a contender, but I think he's going to drive with everything he's got just in case the math may work out for the 99's favor. But he's got his hands full as here comes Radke back to the inside line. Crossing the start-finish line. Babb holds on to second place spot by 0.02 of a second. But there's contact. Radke drives to the side of Babb. Both drivers able to hold on to it. I don't know what that was, but we're going to call that a very aggressive maneuver. With 5 laps left to go, Babb may have a lot of red mist in his eyes. Let's take a look at that move once more. Oh, Radke just comes up into him there. Can't believe Babb was able to hold on to it. Well done to him. But it seems like Babb losing a little bit of time here. He's now 0.6 back from Radke. The glove comes off when there's a championship on the line. 4 laps left to go. It's Parks, Radke, Babb, your top 3. Babb, he's got to be driving mad here, doing everything he can to catch up to Radke. 3 laps left to go if he wants to close that 0.4 of a second gap. I think there's payback in the eyes of the 99 machine. Radke 3.8 seconds back from Parks. Parks may be able to bring home the win. I'd say it's fairly safe. He's going to lock it up here. Oh, 1/4 of a second separating the drivers for second. It gets down to about 0.2. Babb using the draft off the back of the 51 machine. Looks to the inside line. Here comes Wally Babb. He wants payback. He wants second. 2 laps left to go here in the season finale. Now Radke and Babb are teammates. I don't know if anybody's told them that here. Babb back to the inside line, the battle for second. Radke up high. Radke almost bounces off the wall there. Babb a big run, nowhere to put it. As the white flag will be out this time by my goodness, what a season finale. The white flag is out as Eric Parks leads the field around for the final time here tonight, the final time of the season. Halfway down the backstretch, coming into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Eric Parks bringing home the win. And it looks like it's going to be Radke and Babb second and third to round out the top three. Ross and James Kaufman will round out the top five. The fireworks are out. And Parks is going to enjoy the moment. Up 7 positions from where he qualified. Parks and Kaufman both up 7 spots. Radke finishing exactly where he qualified. And Babb in the 99 machine up 2 positions. As Parks putting on a smoke show for the fans at home. A very dominant win here at the end, 4.3 seconds ahead the rest of the drivers. And now, while we wait for these top 3 drivers to make their way into the waiting room, we're also going to patiently wait for the points to be tallied. My, oh my, what a wild way to end this segment championship. I, for one, am excited to hear these interviews. I'm going to be curious as what is said amongst all the drivers. Even more curious to say what was said in the middle of that race. I'm sure everybody's getting their points, their little notepads out to see who finished where. Oh, we got a little bit of a blink there. There we go. As it looks like everybody's here. We're going to start things off with Wally Babb piloting the number 99 machine, bringing home a third after a very exciting last few laps. Wally, welcome to the top 3. Did anybody tell you guys that you and Jeff are teammates?
I know, that's what we were sitting there talking about. I'm crying right now.
Tears of joy, tears of laughter. What are you feeling after that one?
I don't know. It was still a good race. We had a disadvantage, I think Team 3 had an extra set of tires, but I think we did pretty good on the management, considering that. I'm still happy. I love Jeff. He's a good teammate.
Well, there's a lot of... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just going to say my whole team's great.
Yeah, a bunch of good, goofy guys over there on Team 3. What was the strategy where it seemed like everybody was going to be about 10, 15 laps short, and it didn't seem like that late race caution really changed too much as far as the planning?
So, that last caution, we were on, we took 4, 2, I didn't take any, and then I did 4. And when I took that 4, the caution came out. Me and Jeff had new tires, and I guess Parks had that last pit stop right there. He had 4, and we took 2.
Excuse me. Sorry, Wally. Been battling sickness for a couple weeks, but hey, man, a great way to cap off the season. A really good result for you and the team, especially driving that number 99 machine relatively clean by the time it's all said and done. And for the final time this season, my friend, who do you want to give a shout out to, pay thanks to, that helps make this result possible for you?
All these sponsors, FEG, Moza, Buckhacker, the whole distance team, TLM. All those guys are great, and you for this broadcast. And all the fans, if I got any fans out there, thank y'all for watching.
You've got at least a few of them out there, my friend. So congratulations again. A lot of fun watching and calling the action, and looking forward to seeing how you do in the season championship, or excuse me, the year championship in a couple of weeks.
I was gonna say I'll be coming back, and I'm running strong. I love Kentucky.
We'll be rooting for you. Thank you and take care, Wally.
Thank you, James. See.
That was Wally Babb bringing home third. Up next, we've got Jeff Radke in the number 51 Toyota. Jeff, we were just talking to Wally. What an exciting last few laps you guys were having.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you both somehow, some way came away from that contact without too much damage, but I think surely you guys saw your race ending there for a moment.
For a split second, as soon as I got pit down road and black flagged, but luckily I was able to get it cleared and we didn't lose too much track position.
Now, Radke, a good second. The points were very close coming to this championship here tonight. How do you think the points are going to pay out knowing that Derek Fulton was having a rough race here tonight?
With the way it works out, having incident points probably killed my chances of finishing in the top spot. But it was hard to catch Parks for the race win. He had a couple extra tires more than everybody else, so it made it difficult from the start.
Well, it was a lot of fun watching you guys. And Jeff, did that late race caution kind of throw a wrench in any of your plans, or was it kind of no good strategy at that point anyway?
It kind of helped. Me and Wally, we were both on we ran a stint there with no tires, and then we had just thrown on our 4 fresh ones right as the caution came out. So it bunched everybody up, and I'd say it probably helped us.
Well, Jeff, it was a lot of fun watching you guys race. Great racing back and forth, especially with you and the distance drivers. I mean, you guys put on a show all season long, and for the final time this season, who do you want to give a shout out to that helped make this result possible for you?
My wife, first and foremost. You guys for putting on a great broadcast. I love going back and watching it after the race is over. My team, Dalton, Wally, Corey, Rylan, Jeffrey Vickery was subbing in tonight, and Jeff for putting on the league.
Well, thank you as always, man. A lot of fun calling the action, and hope to have you back up here doing well in the yearly championship.
Thanks, James. Hope to be talking to you then.
Thank you, sir. Now we're waiting one quick second to get Parks up into the booth. As we believe we just got a points results. And yes, we get confirmation. And joining us in the booth, Eric Parks, looks like you're also the unofficial segment championship as well as the winner here tonight. Welcome to the top spot, my friend.
How's it going, James?
Man, it's good. It seemed like those 4 tires at the end, you just couldn't be touched after that lap 115 pit stop.
Yeah, that worked out, which we had if it hadn't been for that caution, I think the whole team would have had a better finish. We had a good run going there. That caution kind of hurt us, but it worked out in the end anyway.
Now, Eric, with this this odd pit strategy or pit cycle, looks like I mean most people weren't able to get more than 24 or 25 laps on a fuel run, and it was going to put everybody 15, 20 laps short. How do you plan for a race like that, or do you just hold it wide and let the cards fall where they may?
Yeah, we just kind of wasn't conserving too much, just enough to make it to where we knew we could make it without having to have that extra stop. But I think some guys maybe could have tried it on 4 stops if it hadn't been for that caution. That could have played in too, but that caution changed it up for everybody, I think.
Yeah, now were you expecting that late in the race? I mean, it's a smaller grid, a fairly open track, and then next thing you know, there's just absolute carnage here at Auto Club.
Yeah, no, I figured after we got as far as we got, I thought we was going green all the way, so it was kind of a surprise.
Now, what is the plans for you and the team and the yearly finale in a couple weeks? Is Kentucky a relatively bigger track as well? How do you think things are going to shake out for you and the guys?
Kentucky's usually been a pretty good track for us. I hope we hadn't practiced any yet, but hopefully it'll be nice to us.
Awesome, Eric. Congratulations again on both the win here tonight, locking up the segment championship. Hopefully we'll see you in contention for the yearly championship as well. And, my friend, you've got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the night as well as this segment. Who do you want to give a shout to that helps put you in the top spot and bring home the championship?
Yeah, I want to thank the Lord above for all his blessings. And I want to say hi to my mom and dad. They're usually watching. And Team 3, I always got a good group to work with. And just appreciate what you all do and want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric. It's been an absolute pleasure calling the action. And again, congratulations. A very well-deserved victory as well as championship.
All right, James. Thank you, sir, and hope you're feeling better.
Thank you, sir. I'm surviving.
Awesome. Good deal.
That was Eric Parks locking up the race win here tonight, as well as the Segment 7 championship. Jeff Radke finishing second, Wally Babb third, and Chad Ross with James Kaufman rounding out the top 5. On behalf of FEGPC.net, my name has been James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for spending each and every Monday night with us. We'll be back in 2 weeks for the yearly championship to be decided. And again, thank you all again. We could not do it without your viewership, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, and supporting the broadcast. Have a great night, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and I'll see you in a couple weeks, everyone. Have a good night.